Hi everybody, welcome back to Whining with Emily. I'm your host Emily from Lucas Wine and Spirits. This is my co-host today, Bill, who is my right-hand man in the wine department. He's a longtime Lucas employee. Today we're going to talk about orange wines, which are kind of a trendier, something that you might have been hearing about, but are really kind of a recalling of an ancient way of doing wines. And Bill's kind of been into them lately. So tell us about what are orange wines?
Orange wines. Let's take a brief look at how wine is made to begin with, especially a red wine. Red wine grapes have, in most cases, clear juice. They pick up the color, the juice picks up the color from the skin and other compounds, as well as tannin, which provides structure. So with a red wine, the juice stays on the skins for an extended period of time, extracting that color, tannin, and flavor. That's pretty straightforward. On a white wine, juice is pressed off the grapes immediately and the grape skin's removed. So you have no tannin in a white wine, very little flavor or compounds from the skin. Contrast that also with rosé that spends just a little bit of time, red wine grapes spend a little bit of time on the skins to extract color and flavor. That brings us to orange wines. Orange wine is a white wine grape. Of one on the left here, it's half Verdejo and half Sauvignon Blanc. So typically white wines are pressed off the skins, but in this case they spend some time on the skins, some fairly extensive time. In the case of the one on the left, the Dol Pablo orange wine, that spends about a week or just a little over a week on the skins. And so you can see it extracts color. It also extracts flavor and tannin. So the wine will have, it's a white wine, but it will have some structure of tannin other than the common structure for whites of acid.
These can be awesome wines for people that are normally red wine drinkers, but frankly, when it's 95 degrees outside, big tannic red just doesn't sound very good. So you might want to try something refreshing like a white wine, but find them to be maybe less flavorful than the big bold reds that you're used to, so these can be a good transition for that kind of thing. Both of these wines are organic and in fact biodynamic, certified on the Lunaria. So if you are interested in some of the kind of clean living trends and those kind of things that we're seeing in the beverage world, these are a good way to kind of explore that too.
This winemaking style goes way back to the country of Georgia, and way back, I said 6,000 before the Common Era, where they used clay amphoras as fermentation vessels, and they would bury them in the ground for temperature control. Also, a really easy and effective way of keeping a wine stable is to have it rest on the skins. And in this case, it is naturally stable, and therefore sulfur dioxide and other additives are not needed to stabilize. So it fits into the natural wine category quite nicely.
All right, let's dive in. So let's start with the Dol Pablo, which is kind of a funny if you are a Spanish language student or speaker. It's kind of a play on words, so it sounds like gulpable, Dol Pablo. Language puns, great jokes. So again, this is 50-50 Verdejo Sauvignon Blanc. So Verdejo is a native grape to the area, frequently grown around kind of the Rueda, kind of central parts by the Ribera del Duero and Toro and that kind of area. Sauvignon Blanc, which we all know and love from France, New Zealand, California, and beyond. So some kind of initial impressions for me. Sometimes with these styles of wines, because you are letting the skins hang out for a while, there's usually a lot of wild yeasts on there. They can sometimes have some funky funky off flavors or smells that come into wine. These do not. This does not have that at all, which is for me awesome. Some people like that, and this is kind of interesting. A lot like the Brett beers or saisons and that kind of thing that are, you know, a style in the Belgian beer world.
But yes, no funk at all. I just personally just love the texture, the structure, the flavor that come from this process. Nuances aside, it's just delicious to me. I really, really do enjoy it. It's refreshing.
A good way to think about tannin, especially in white wine here. So tannin, something else that we drink that we find tannin in is tea. So to me, this does have that kind of grippiness of tea. You know, obviously a very light tea, like a green or a white tea or that kind of thing. But if you're into tea, then this is kind of like tea. Or chamomile for me is a super common, even just in normal white wines. They don't have to be orange wines, but I get that in a lot of different white wines. But as far as citrus goes, I get like a whole like panoply of citrus. So you have like your tangerine, kind of almost a blood orange kind of thing, and very much like both peel and flesh. Kind of impactful nose. So this is very fragrant and floral to me. Sauvignon Blanc is very kind of strong aromatically anyway, but more in a like, I mean, especially with the New Zealand, like super tropical, grassy kind of way. I don't really get any of the grassy notes either on the nose or on the palate.
Orange color.
Yeah. So clear bottle here, which is kudos to kind of communicate that to the consumer, but is also like, that's kind of a risk too, because like can damage wines, especially like these that maybe don't have some of the protective additives and things. Next wine is the Lunaria Ramoro. So this comes to us from Italy, from the Le Marche region, which if you think about the leg of Italy, it'd be like the back of the knee, basically. Lunaria is Italy's largest biodynamic winery. So this guy is 100% Pinot Gris, but they leave it on the skins. Pinot Gris naturally has a pinky gray color to it. So they also make a variety called Pecorino that is in our kind of other Italian white section. Quality wine made by real people that care about their stuff. And also with fuller body white wines like this, they benefit from a little, they don't have to be like super cold. You know, you're gonna get more flavors, more nuance coming out of it as the temperatures rise a little bit, which in the summer is not that hard, so you might have to be kind of doing the in and out kind of thing with the fridge.
That's lovely. That is pleasantly rich with flavor.
Yeah. So yes, again, very clean, not funky, no weird off flavors for me. But this I find more, instead of being in that citrus realm, more like red apples and like a nectarine, those kind of like stone fruit and pomaceous kind of things. That's what we call pomaceous, is like the, yeah, in addition to the fruit, totally lots of those kind of herbal tea, rose hip, those kind of flavor qualities too. So it's not just all fruits, there's other things going on too.
I believe you mentioned earlier, definitely the red wine lover who likes that structure, likes that tannin, but doesn't want to drink red wine this time of the year because it's so warm. This is very refreshing, and at the same time gives you those often red wine flavors along with the tannin in the body.
But a super refreshing acidity that oftentimes is kind of a better match for some of the lighter foods. Speaking of food, so what do you think for food pairings for orange wines in general? Maybe these in particular.
Wouldn't be afraid to put it with any of your favorite seafoods. Also, anything actually off the grill, chicken.
Pinot Gris can kind of have a little bit of a smoky character to it. Not that I necessarily get it from that, but smoke can be a really strong flavor. So for grilled dishes, something with a little bit more body and something with a little bit more flavor might be in order. But yeah, again, totally seafood. I really like these wines at I know it's a long ways away, but Thanksgiving, because they can go and do the light and delicate white wine and refreshing palate cleanser type thing, but then are also full enough to stand up to a lot of the rich stuff in it. So who is this going to appeal to? Wines like this are, if you already like white wine, if you drink Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, that kind of thing, these would be perfect for you, of course. But if you also like sour beers, some of the Belgian Saison styles, like Tank 7 is one of those, for instance, or Saison Dupont, etc. Those kind of beer drinkers would like this type of thing. Also, I can totally see if you are gin, tequila, mezcal, and that spectrum, these taste kind of like a margarita or paloma. So if you like those liquors or white spirits, you would be into this. You are into clean living and organic wines, low intervention, less manipulation. These are totally reachable, and yeah, like I said, they're under 20 bucks. So this guy is also a liter, so we forgot to point that out, but
Right.
we at the wine department at Lucas love liter-sized bottles because you get an extra super big glass or a glass and a half.
Great way to kind of support the natural wine community and the natural wine movement, which is a good thing.
Naturally.
Bill, thank you so much for joining us today on Whining with Emily as we kind of dive into this fun, cool, emerging, but re-emerging, I guess, category. Cheers.
Cheers.